Hello you guys, welcome back to Stampaholics Anonymous. Today I'm finally keeping my promise of keeping on, with my D-stash, and this is the first batch of China Glaze that we're gonna look at. I'm probably gonna be doing, I think, 3 videos. I hope I can manage to do it in 3 videos. There's a few polishes, or like one collection that I'm not gonna swatch because I'm not gonna de-stash it no matter what, and that's the My Little Pony collection. I want to keep it intact, even though some of the polishes were poo. But yeah. And I already know that there's a bunch of China Glaze polishes that I won't ever let go. You can take them from my cold, dead hands if you want to try. Anyway, so this is the first batch I just grabbed randomly from my shelf. They were no longer in order on my shelf anyways. I had them like in color order, and then I rearranged stuff, and now they're just all over the place. So there's no particular order, there's no particular like collection in here. It's a mixture of very old and a very new polishes. There's a few, it's all kind of random. So there's a bunch of polishes to go through today, so I'm gonna, set up for those swatches where I show you like 2 polishes at a time and do 2 coats each, and then make up my mind whether I want to keep them or not. So here we are all set up. Just a few more things that I want to point out. I'm not going to research each and every collection if I don't know it from the top of my head. I'm very sorry about that, but these videos take a while to film and they take even longer to edit, so I don't really have the time and patience to research all the collections. But I'm going to be putting polished names on screen, and with China Glaze it's pretty easy to find out when they came out, which collection they belong to, if you are interested in getting any of these. So that was the last heads up, and I also upgraded the swatching base. I'm no longer using like a sheet of cardboard. This is a plastic I don't know, like placemat that can be cleaned with acetone. I've learned from my past mistakes. Anyway, so let's get started. This is going to be completely random. There's no particular order, like I said, no color range, no nothing. So this is the first polish we're going to be looking up. It's called Aggro. I don't know how I came about this polish. Isn't that like so professional? I did pick up like a bunch of China Glazes in like, I don't know, D-stashes on eBay. This one is, I don't know, like an antique golden with a lot of green going on. And here's coat number 1. It's a metallic polish. It's going to have a lot of brush strokes. I can already tell. It's kind of sheer on the first coat. Let's see what a second coat will do. Moving on to the next polish, another like metallic one. This one is called Sleigh Bells Ring, and this one is from last year's Christmas collection. I know something! Yay! So I'm probably going to be holding on to this because I only bought it like recently because I wanted it. And this one is, again, like I said, a metallic base. Brush strokes aren't as apparent in this one, question mark. And it's a nice like antique silver finish. So it's sort of like, a sister to the first one, the Aggro we looked at. So let's do a second coat of this one. And I don't hate it. I do not hate it, and I kind of like it, so I'm probably going to be holding on to Aggro. Let's do a second coat of Sleigh Bells Ring. I think there's some subtle hollow going on in this one, and that's probably the reason that I picked it up in the first place. Yeah, I kind of like this one, even though metallic is not my favorite finish, and there's some bald spots in here. But I'm going to be holding on to this one because I bought it like fairly recently. So both of these are keepers. Next up is one of those polishes that you can try to pry out of my cold dead hands, but you probably won't succeed. This is like my all-time favorite from China Glaze. This is Combat Blues. This is the one that got me into the whole, fast-drying ultra mattes from China Glaze, and I'm never going to be letting this one go. But I'm going to show you it anyway. It is a one-coater for the most part for me. And this formula, it makes it so that you have to work really, really quickly or it looks really, really hideous. A lot of people do not like that. Can't overwork this one, but I love it, and it's one of my favorite China glazes of all time, so I'm keeping Combat Blues. Next up, we've got this one, another one that I don't know for sure how I came to own it. This one is an older polish, as you can see from that number. It's called Pelican Gray. And it's a light gray, and there's a silver shimmer going on. You can see how Combat Blues already dried down completely matte. I love it. I love it. So this is Pelican Gray. It's not half bad formula-wise. I actually kind of like this. I'm going to give it like a few seconds to dry before I put on a second coat, if it even needs that. I'm going to say this is down to the fact that this is like an older polish, that it, you know, dried so quickly and, or not dried quickly, but, you know, is so thick. So let's go for a second coat of Pelican Gray? Pelican Gray. Probably going to keep this one also. This is going to be a frustrating destash video because I'm probably going to be keeping most of the polishes that we swatched today. Yes, I like this one. It's a good base for nail art. And yeah, I'm going to be keeping this one. Okay, next up we've got this gorgeous green sparkly polish, which is called Emerald Sparkle. I don't know how I came about this polish. Again, you're going to be hearing me say that a lot. Let's see how this one applies. It's more of a jelly finish or formula. I do like the color though, and the sparkle. I like it. Okay, let's leave that to dry. Next up we've got something that I probably also won't let go because I specifically went out of my way to buy this one. This is called Heroine Chic, and I think I saw it first on Bonita Juanita's destash of her China Glaze stuff, and that made me buy this polish, so I'm probably not going to be destashing it anyway. It is a metallic polish, and it's like shifting, and there's, you know, fun stuff happening. I like it. It's pretty sheer on the first coat, but I don't totally hate it yet. Can you see how biased I am towards China Glaze? I'm sorry guys, but that's just the way it is. It's my favorite mainstream brand. Okay, here's a second coat of Emerald, what was his name? Emerald Sparkle, and I am not too fond of this one, so this might be the first one that I'm gonna let go. Let's see a second coat of Heroine Chic, no matter what. Yeah, and yeah, it's still a bit sheer. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can probably tell. But like I said, I really enjoyed this polish, and I'm gonna hold on to it no matter what. But I'm actually gonna be destashing this Emerald Sparkle thing. Next up we've got another gray and a very interesting polish. This one is Stone Cold. I think I've used this one before and I was surprised how much I liked it. It's sort of like a bit texturized because it has so much glitter going on. And it is, ooh, oh, look at how thick this one has gotten because it's been in my collection so long. Look at it, look at it. I like it. It only needs one coat on the swatch wheel, and I really like this like sparkly gray color combo, and I think it will dry down at least semi-matte, if I remember correctly. Not sure. I'm gonna leave it to dry and move on to the next polish. This one is like the complete opposite. Like I said, it's completely random. It's called High Hopes. It's also a bit older, as you can see from the number, and it's like a neon pink or orange. It's hard to tell. Let's see how this one does. Not half bad for a neon by China Glaze, actually. Yes, I kind of like it. It's not a bad formula and it's got good coverage in one coat. I'm actually going to be doing another coat of Stone Cold because there's like a few bald splotches, patches, and it did dry down matte and it's already, oops, oh jeez, I just dropped the bottle, and it's already dry. I love this formula. I just do. So I'm going to be definitely be holding on to Stone Cold because these polishes are perfect for the lazy girl who forgot to do her nails and wants to run out of the door and still be able to paint her nails. Those formulas are perfect for that. So let's do a second coat of High Hopes, this neon pink or orange, not sure. And it's actually a decent formula. It's kind of hard to paint these swatch wheels with the China Glaze brush, I'm finding. But this is a decent neon, and it's got a decent cream formula. It's not runny or anything, which sometimes happens with like neons or pastels from China Glaze. So I'm going to be holding on to both of these. Okay, next up we've got one that is also fairly recent. I think it was the Halloween collection. It's called Crown for Whatever, and I specifically also wanted this one after seeing it swatched. It got a purple base, and then there's like a contrasting purple to gold shimmer in this one. Let's see how it is formula-wise, but like I said, I just bought it a while ago, and I'm probably going to be holding on to this one. It's pretty similar to one of my other all-time favorites from China Glaze, which is from the Gone Glamping collection. I can't remember the name right now. It's similar to it, but this one is darker, and it's also dry, a matte, I think. I'm not sure. Let's see how this one dries down. I can see the shimmer on the nail, which is nice, and you don't get all the time. Next up, I've got Smoke and Ashes. This is another one of those like texturized glitters that we saw with the emerald whatever, I can't remember. And it's got like teal and black and silver glitters, I think. Is this silver or is it just the teal? Not sure, but I'm gonna shake it because it sort of has settled a bit. And then we shall do a first coat of this. Ooh, I expected it to be a lot more transparent in the first coat and sheer, but it is not half bad. I don't hate it. It's probably because it's an older bottle and it has thickened up. It's gonna need a second coat, but I like it. Okay, and you can see that Crown for Whatever has dried down matte, which is a bummer because the contrasting shimmer in these does stand out better when you have it glossy, but you can always slap on a glossy taco. Second coat makes this one less patchy. I like the formula, and I'm gonna keep Crown for Whatever. Let's do a second coat of Smoke and Ashes. And I'm probably going to be keeping this one also. I like how deep and luscious and sparkly this one is. I kind of like it. So I'm going to be keeping both of these. So sorry guys that this is not actually, too much de-stashing going on here. Next one, we've got another one that I bought fairly recently. It's again from the Christmas or winter collection. This is the Perfect Holiday. It's a green metallic, I think. And I'm not sure if this is also one of the mattes. There were a lot of mattes in the Christmas collection, but this is a one coater. And that makes me think it's going to dry down matte. I am sure. Almost. Okay, next up we've got something different entirely. This one is called Hey Doll. I don't know from whence it came and how it ended up in my collection, but it is here now. It's sort of like a bronzy, rosy thing. Formula looks a bit thinner. Oh, or not too thin, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's pretty sheer on the first coat. And I don't know if I'm feeling this color too much right now, so we might have another de-stash at our hands. The Perfect Holiday did dry down matte. There's a subtle green shimmer in this one. If you put a glossy topper on top, it's gonna look, more sparkly and really, really lovely. I like it. Let's do a second coat of Hey Doll. Hey Doll. I don't know. I'm just meh about this polish, so this is going to be the second one that I'm going to be letting go. Next up we've got another blue. and it's a jelly. This one is called Ride the Waves. I don't think if I don't know if I have an opinion about this yet, or if I've used it before. Oh, it's really, really sheer. I don't think I've used this one before. It's almost like a tint. Next up, I've got another one that I specifically wanted to have in my life. It's called Meet Me in the Mirage. It's from the Desert Divas collection, I think. And it's like a rose gold metallic polish. Naturally, I wanted to have this one. And it's also really like glittery, in addition to being a metallic finish. So it's a metallic glittery finish. It's really nice. Let's do a second coat of Ride the Waves and see if it does anything to this polish. Nah, it's just a straight up jelly. And I'm probably going to be letting this one go because I'm not too keen on this formula, and I have other jellies that I like better than China Glaze jellies. Let's do a second coat of Meet Me at the Mirage, which I am going to be keeping anyways. You know it, right? So here's the second coat of that, and you can see the color that is in the bottle. It's opaque and not too brush strokey. I like this one, so I'm keeping it. Next up is a pastel-y turquoise thing, which is called Aquadelic. Don't know the collection, don't know anything about it, and whether the formula is any good, but we shall see. I'm probably going to be comparing it to For Audrey, which I also got here somewhere. It's a good formula for a China Glaze pastel. Holy hell, I wish the pastels in the My Little Pony collection would have been this good. It's probably down to the fact that this is like an older bottle, but it is opaque in one coat, so I am keeping this one. Next up, we've got another one that I will probably keep. This is called Sin-derella, and it's also from the Halloween collection of last year that I did not buy like in its entirety, but I just, you know, grabbed a random few that I wanted after seeing swatches online. This one does have another of those shifting shimmers in it, like the what was it called, like the Heroine Chic sort of, but it's lighter and more delicate, and it's probably going to need a second coat. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds to dry before I apply that. Okay, let's do a second coat of Sin-derella. Yeah, and I like this one. I like the shimmer that stands out, you know, against that weird grayish base, and the second coat did make this one opaque and make that red shimmer very apparent, so I'm keeping Sin-derella. Next up, we've got something that I'm also probably not going to be letting go because I bought it, like, you know, specifically to have it in my life. This is Don't Be a Snowflake, also from last year's winter collection. And it is like a white grayish jelly formula with all kinds of different glitters in there, some of which are hollow, some of them are matte. I like the color combo. It looks like a snow globe on your nails. Yeah, and I like this one a lot. Next up, we've got, woohoo, a Camera Freakout polish. This is a neon, and it's called Rose Among Thorns. I don't think I've used this one before, and I'm curious to see its formula. It looks a bit sheer, but it's not. Ooh, wow, this is really neon. Oh my goodness. This is really, really neon pink. Wow, it's like eye-soaring. Eye-searing? It hurts my eyes. I'm probably going to need a second coat, but it's not half bad for, you know, at the first coat. Let's do a second coat of Don't Be a Snowflake, which I don't expect to be like fully opaque, because it's such a light polish, but I like this one for doing like an accent nail in wintertime or whenever. Oh, I just managed to get some of the pink in here. Sometimes I'm stupid. So I'm keeping Don't Be a Snowflake. I love this one. And I'm going to do another coat of the Rose Among Thorns. Rose Among Thorns, yes, that way around. Ooh, it's good. It's actually good for being a China Glaze neon, which also can be hit and miss. I know that. It's still my favorite brand, but I know, I'm so biased, but this one is a very, very decent neon formula, and I'm going to be keeping it. Okay, 2 more polishes before this swatch wheel is done. This is just a little embellishment. Also, again, something that I picked up specifically because I wanted it because I saw, I don't know, somebody else swatch it or de-stash it. And it's a turquoise teal, and I love that color. You know that by now, I hope. So I'm probably not going to be letting it go. Oh. And it's a solid cream formula. Ooh, oh wow. And I think it might be one of those mattes. That's probably the reason why I wanted it in my life, because it's so thick on the first coat. Ooh, look at it. Look at it. I love it. I love it. I'm not going to be letting this one go. Next up, we've got another metallic, like light rose gold. It's lighter than Meet Me at the Mirage. It's called As Good As It Glitz, and I think it was also from the like winter collection last year, like, you know, for New Year's Eve, meant for New Year's Eve. And I'm probably not going to be letting this one go because it's rose gold, even though it's a metallic, but it's a good metallic, and it's like opaque in a good solid thick coat on the swatch wheel. And the brush strokes aren't too bad. So I'm going to be holding on to this one, and I'm also going to be holding on to just a little embellishment. I'm not sure if it's going to dry down completely matte, but I like the color and, you know, the deepness of it, and I'm keeping both of these polishes. Okay, new swatch wheel, just a few more polishes to go through. This one is another neon, is it a pink, is it an orange? I don't know. It is definitely not like a neon pink like the Rose Among Thorns was. And it's very, very similar to High Hopes that I already kept, so I might be letting go of one of these after swatching this one, which is called Make Some Noise. So it's a bit sheer on the first coat, but not too shabby. Next up, I've got a gray polish, like a dark gray polish. This one is called Out Like a Light. It's got a very thick formula, because it's an older bottle, I think. And it's probably going to need like a second coat to make it nice and even, but I kind of like this gray. Let's do a second coat of Make Some Noise, which does deepen up the color and make it fully opaque. So I just got to make my mind up if I want to keep both of those like neon oranges, this one and the High Hopes. So I'm going to be putting them side by side. Let's do a second coat of Out Like a Light. Here we are. It's a very good cream formula. So I'm going to be keeping Out Like a Light, and I'm going to pull out the swatch wheel and compare Make Some Noise to High Hopes. This is hard. I'm going to let the Make Some Noise dry down to the same level as the High Hopes is before I can make up my mind. So I think I've made up my mind. I do like the Make Some Noise better than High Hopes, so I'm going to be destashing High Hopes. Wow, I actually managed to destash something more. Alright, moving on to a fan favorite. This is for Audrey, and I'm probably not going to be letting it go, no matter if I don't like the formula or whatever, just to, you know, this is like a collector's item. Probably shouldn't be swatching it. But my bottle is a bit older, so the formula isn't too shabby. I kind of like it. It's gonna need a second coat because it's such a light polish, but it's a good cream formula. I like it. Next up, we've got Midnight Mission. It's another one of those like metallic ones with a lot of glitters. It's blue with a lot of like gray or silver shimmer, glitter, whatever thingamabob going on inside of it. It's very sheer on the first coat. But I'm going to give it like, you know, a bit of time to dry and then see what a second coat does. Let's do a second coat of the For Audrey. You might argue that you don't really need one, but I think it does. Yeah, the second coat does deepen it up and make it nice and even. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping it. Like I said, I wouldn't have let it go even if I didn't like the formula or whatever, because it's such a must-have. Next up, that let's do a second coat of Midnight Mission. Sorry, blanked out there for a second. Ooh. Managed to get polished like on the outside of the bottle. Great. Second coat does deepen this one up, but I guess it's gonna need like a third coat at least on the swatch wheel to be like 100% opaque. So I don't know, I'm gonna be putting it into a maybe pile because I kind of like this like color combo and the sparkle, but I don't like the fact that you're probably gonna need 3 coats. Next up, I got another one that I bought fairly recently. This is Queen of Sequins. I think Halloween or fall or something. And it has like a color shifting base, purple to gold, some bronzy stuff going on. It's a very glittery polish, similar to the Midnight Mission that I'm not too sure about. And I cannot unscrew the bottle. Okay, so it's rather sheer on the first coat, but I'm going to wait for the second coat until I make up my mind. Next up, I've got another teal, neon teal. Does this exist? Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice. It is a lot more green in person than what I can see in the viewfinder. This is Turned Up Turquoise. And I like this one. I think I've worn it before. And it's a solid cream with a bit of shimmer. Yeah, that's right. I was like really astonished about the shimmer when I put it on my nails because I couldn't really see it in the bottle. It's not very apparent in the bottle. It's a very, very subtle shimmer. I don't know if the camera is picking it up. Okay, let's do a second coat of Queen of Sequins. It does deepen up the color and bring out that like shimmer, those different kinds of shimmers that are going on in this one. It's still sort of transparent, but I don't know, do I really like this one as much? I don't know. It's going to be a maybe for now. I'm going to do a second coat of Turned Up Turquoise, but I know that I'm going to be keeping it because I like this one a lot. Yeah, and a second coat does deepen up the color. This one also dries down like semi-matte, not like completely matte, but almost completely matte, so I like it a lot and I'm keeping it. Sorry for the noises in the background that you might be hearing. I've got my window open so I don't die of, you know, polish fumes. Next up, I've got another blue, like a blue jelly. This one is called Simply Fab Blue Less, and I bought it after seeing, I think, Phoebe swatch it. I can't get it open. I can't. That was hard to get open. I don't know why. Okay, let's see a first coat of this one. It's not as bad as the other like blue jelly that I let go. And I'm going to wait for a second coat until I make up my mind. But like I said, I specifically went out and bought this, so I might be keeping it. Next up, I've got another like metallic metallic glitter thing. This one is called So Blue Without You. I don't know, it's sort of like a blue-green or teal to me, not like a straight-up blue. Let's see a first coat of this. It's sheer as, you know, would be expected from a formula like this. Don't know how I feel about it yet. Back to Simply Fabulous. Fabulous. Their blue puns are bad. Yeah. And I'm probably going to be keeping it. It's a bit darker or deeper and more opaque than the first blue jelly we looked at. And I am liking this. It's a good formula, so I'm keeping Fabulous. Let's do a second coat of So Blue Without You. I'm probably gonna be letting this one go because I know I don't feel this like glittery bluish teal thing too much. So I'm gonna be letting go So Blue Without You. So I have 3 more polishes for you. Next up is another one from the Christmas collection, or like holiday 2017 collection. This one is called Sparkle On. It's sort of like the sister polish to Don't Be a Snowflake, because it does the same thing, but it's red, not white. So it has a jelly base and all kinds of different glitters in there. They're not hollow this time. There's nothing hollow going on in this one. Like I said, it's a jelly formula with a lot of glitters, and I specifically bought this one from the collection, so I'm keeping it because I like it. And next up we've got, I think this is also from like the holiday collection last year. This is New Year, New Boo, which I also can't get open. What's with all the blues that I can't open? It's sort of like a blue purple blurple. The formula isn't half bad, and is this one of those like mattes also? Not sure. I did say in my favorites video that there were like 3 mattes in the holiday collection, but there only are 2, I think. Let's do another coat of Sparkle On. Just for the heck of it, since I already said that I would be keeping this one. And yeah, I like the depth of this and the dimension of a good glitter bomb, so I'm keeping it. And I'm going to be doing a second coat of New Year, New Boo. Yeah, it deepens up the color. And I like this shade of like blue purple. Even though it's a metallic, but it's not too brush strokey, I kind of like this one, so I'm keeping it. And this last polish is also from the holiday collection. It's called Santa's Side Chic. This one is definitely matte, and I love it. I've worn this one before in like Christmas manis, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. You do need like a second coat, unlike, you know, with all of the other mattes, just because of the fact that it's a red, and reds, I don't know, tend to have this weird sheerness going on in the first coat, even though this one dries down matte. So let's do a second coat real quick, just so you can see the full depth of the color. It's got a nice red shimmer added to it that stands out nicely against the red base. I like Santa's Side Chic, and I am keeping this one. So that's it. I only got 2 maybes that we're going to be, you know, looking at again right now. So these are the 2 maybes. It's Midnight Mission and Queen of Sequins. It's these 2 right here. And you know what, you guys? They're still sheer. I mean, Queen of Sequins still is a bit sheer. Midnight Mission isn't, but I'm not really feeling it. It looks a tad bit like patchy, and I did a third coat and it didn't really do anything to it. So, drum roll, I am going to be letting go both of these polishes. Final decision. So let me you know, pull out what I managed to get rid of, and let's see the damage of what I'm keeping. So this doesn't look as promising as the Kiko D-Stash did. I'm getting rid of 7 polishes, just 7 polishes, and I'm keeping 24. The ratio is probably going to be like this all through China Glaze. I'm sorry, you guys. I just, you know, there's a reason that I love the brand so much, and that I've been holding on to so many polishes for such a long time from them. Yeah, so that's just the result for today. I'm sorry it's not like an extreme D-Stash, but you know, I have a sweet spot on my heart for China Glaze polishes. So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me see if you saw anything that you really enjoyed, that you might have kept or might have D-Stashed because you didn't like it at all and I made the wrong decisions. Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, that's it for today, you guys. I love you very much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!